Oh, crap. It's Radio Zero with Rick and Rose on Friday, November 21st. I just closed it.
Why is November 21st a special day? I can't remember.
Oh, it's our anniversary. Why are you laughing?
That's because it's like a funny.
Yeah.
That's like a sitcom joke.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
it's our anniversary. But it's not.
No.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near.
No, not even. It's maybe our half anniversary.
That's a thing now,
Friday,
right?
It's.
You've forgotten our half anniversary.
Do you ever go to like? Okay, check this out.
I can hear.
It's god damn it.
I've got.
Okay, all right. Sorry. Did you ever go to your like Facebook or whatever? You know, your actually your work calendar, and you see all of the the birthdays of people?
No, I don't. I have that turned off.
I have every birthday of everybody I've ever known in my entire 60 years of my life. Every student I've met at U of I, even everybody I've ever met in my life, and people who I haven't met. But so there's always there's a birthday, and I'm like, oh, that's a special person. I've got to write something to them, like, oh my God, that's a big star or something. And then you look and see who else's birthdays are that same day, and it's all like the same kind of people. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're live streaming on Facebook on the Radio Zero page and Poster Children page, on Twitch at PCJCUSA, and on the Poster Children YouTube channel. Every other Friday, 5 p.m. Central, maybe.
Today's a special day because it's the day that Zoran Mamdani met with the greatest leader of all time, the most important man in the world, our president.
You can subscribe to the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, RadioZero.us. You can patronize us at patreon.com/RadioZero. Thanks to all our patrons.
Oh, you know why today is important? I think it's the day after Rick Digit's birthday. That's like that's like, oh my God, I better say happy birthday to Rick Digit, And then I was like, oh, look at who else's birthday is the same day. It's crazy. Yeah.
Is it really Rick Digit's birthday, or is it?
I think it was yesterday. I should look it up.
The person who plays Rick Digit, their birthday.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Rick Sims. Yeah. Birthday yesterday. Now, how do I find out all the rest of the birthdays? Yeah.
All right, this is our special birthday episode where we call out everyone's birthday. We don't say happy birthday. Yeah, to people that were born on November 21st. What we do is we just go through everybody we know and list their birthdays. So it usually takes about an hour or two. It's our special birthday episode.
Newsweek is posting that Donald Trump faces articles of impeachment before Christmas.
Like it's a prediction? Predictions?
I what I don't understand is that, my mom's waiting for him to, get impeached, but that's not going to do anything. People get impeached all the time.
He's been impeached before, right?
Yeah, he's still president. It's like the other one too.
But I don't believe that for a second. I don't think anything's going to happen.
Yeah, I know you don't think anything. I don't think anything's going to happen either. All right, so there's one other thing though here. Wait, let me.
I'd love to be wrong.
Yeah. Well, he could be impeached, but he's still going to be. It's like you can sue somebody, but you still have to pay all the lawyers, and then you have to get them to pay up, and they're not going to pay up, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like for instance, you could sue Cargo Records.
You could sue Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah, you could sue anybody you want. All right, this says Poster Children and Radio Zero are live now.
You could also just not pay Rudy Giuliani, and then somebody else could sue Rudy Giuliani, and he could be.
Yeah. All right, so there was something that, like, what was it? My political theory is that they've got to get Vance in office before the end of the the 4 Trump years, because if they don't, then it's a question. Oh, could he be the president? I don't know. Is he as smart as Trump? Oh, I don't know. Man, I don't know. Maybe I should vote for the Democrat, And so there's a question in people's minds. But if they get Vance in office before, then, like, I'm thinking like Peter Thiel, like, because I can put my mind in that mindset. So, right. So if you get Vance, like,
You're talking about the transhumanist anti-empathy contingent.
Yes, thank you. And is he a computer programmer? He probably doesn't know anything about computers, right?
Boy, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm not familiar with his
programming
He must
prowess.
have been, right?
He must have been, right? Right.
I mean,
he can think algorithmically.
He's one of the PayPal guys, right?
Maybe.
That's where it all started.
But I'm saying that so Trump something happens, he's got to go. He goes. He rage quits. Maybe he rage quits.
Trump?
Yeah. Maybe he rage quits. He says that the guy from Qatar offers him just his own palace, and he decides, you know what? I don't want to do this presidenting anymore. I'm going to build he's got to build the Trump Tower on the Gaza Strip and stuff like that, right? And so maybe he leaves early to do that. He says,
that's not going to happen.
I mean, he can make more money
Why?
doing that because
really?
He rage
by
quits.
Leaving early.
Yeah,
and rage quitting. He's not going to rage quit.
He rage quits, but it's all part. It's good TV. He rage quits.
Yeah, that's.
Or he goes. Look, but
happen.
They have to get Vance in the office so that people can be like, oh well, Vance, he's been doing an okay job over the past 6 months. Yeah, I would vote for him again. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, you're gonna. It's the low information voters who, I don't know what you call them now, the people who came out for Trump, but they're not as enthusiastic about Vance. You know what I mean? They're not going to vote they're going to vote for Zoran Mamdani for president. They're going to write him in, right?
By the way, it looks like Peter Thiel was a lawyer. Stanford Law.
Forget it then.
Let's
He's
see.
not a programmer.
I'll go a little back earlier into his history and see. Oh, he did excel in mathematics.
What year? How old is he?
He is a year younger than I am.
So he wouldn't have learned Pascal even if he was a program. Did you learn Pascal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I
also learned Fortran.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. April Smith, hi from Oklahoma.
Is it?
Yeah. Okay. Well, you think that that's not going to happen? You think that there's not an incentive?
So that's two different things.
Okay,
So
right.
There's an incentive, I guess, but the reality is that Trump is kind of the bulletproof guy, right? And there's no way he's going to quit early. I mean, the only way he's going to it's going to be they're going to have to take him out feet first, right? You know, that's he's not going to he's definitely not going to quit.
You don't think he'll quit early, even
no,
to ensure?
Absolutely not.
Well, that's kind of nice.
There's no.
You don't think he'll quit early to ensure that his legacy remains, like the Project 2025?
That doesn't sound like.
Do you think that Vance can be elected afterwards? Then, I guess it's too early. Yeah.
Again, two different things.
Okay, all right. So Peter Thiel is not going to be able to do some sort of.
Well, that's not to say. I mean, I guess how far is his? Ayn Randian anti-empathy transhumanist
it's
sort of impulses, how deep are they, and so it is he capable of just putting out a hit on someone.
Here's what happens.
I don't think so.
Somebody's going to put out the hit, but they're going to tell Trump that this is a fake hit. Your popularity's waning. We're gonna John Iselin it, whatever what's the Manchurian candidate. We're gonna Manchurian candidate the first one and you're gonna pretend to get shot. Or Vance is gonna pretend to get shot. You're gonna hold him up.
So again, overly complex.
He gets to be a hero, but what really happens is they actually do shoot him.
Yeah, so, Vance is already the Manchurian candidate. He's not really the Manchurian candidate because it's not a secret, and it's all just upfront manipulation of what's going on. And so then
he's all right. I feel like Trump right now is just into good TV. What makes good TV?
Yeah. Right now, it's always
well
what
now.
it is.
Well, I think before there was like.
But the thing is that he's not going to go against his sort of prime directive, right? And I don't think his prime directive includes quitting a job, president that also gives him security legal security.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Gives him a nice big
yeah.
house and constant attention. And so there's absolutely, I cannot see any scenario where he would voluntarily give up and leave.
So is he going to get shot then? Like what? How are they going to get?
I guess
does it make sense to get Vance in there like before the end of the term?
I mean, I guess it does, but again, I mean that's the thing is, but I don't think it's in the Terminator. Everyone has a prime directive, right? It was a question from the peanut gallery. Didn't the Terminator have a prime directive? And it's yes.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Is it, I mean, yeah, I guess, but so it's a whether or not you believe that the conspiracy or things are going to happen at a deeper level, whereas to me, I just see the overt stuff that's going on, which is Trump's in power because of the billionaires, right? They're supporting him.
Yeah.
And then what's his name? Vance is vice president because that's Peter Thiel's guy, and that's who they could get in.
Right.
But Elon Musk's guy, that's who they could get in.
So are they secure? Do they think that Vance is going to win like next after Trump, steps down, or are we continuing that?
I mean, I think it's like anything where it's like they can't predict the future, but they can manipulate, right? And use their power to make things happen. So I don't think they're going to use their power to assassinate Trump and get Vance.
No, I don't think so
president.
either.
I think they're going to use their power to ensure that Vance becomes president.
So
Trump.
they'll run Vance against a woman, like they'll help a woman. Tim Bowers is saying that. Sorry to throw you off. Vance is as personable as a russet potato.
Yeah. So finish your thought and then
I can't.
jump
to
the responses. Yeah.
Squirrel.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I was going to say.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Where were you going with this?
What did I say?
I don't
know. Well. Yeah, I don't remember. So it was. I remember what like there. So the people in the suits in the Being There movie, whoever they are for us in our world, right? They're gonna have an inferior candidate for the Democrats run, like a candidate who will never win.
Well, okay, yeah.
And Vance can get the blonde woman.
Yeah, in Being There, right? It's not the powers that be, the guys who decide everything, right? Mm-hmm. The influencers, they're not plotting the assassination. It's not the Manchurian Candidate or Parallax View. It's the kind of overt power and manipulation. I mean, you can say, they're the behind the scenes people, but and so for me, it's like, you can go down these kind of conspiracy level things, but it's like, no, just the overt power stuff that's going on,
So what's the next move?
What's the next move is, I guess the next move is what 2028, right? And it's like, so obviously Vance is going to be running, but unless he gets shot, right? Or what? The whole world falls apart and there's no elections. I mean, it's the future. You can't predict it. You can kind of manipulate and put things into place.
But we're not so sure.
Shift.
I'm not sure that Vance could win.
Yeah. So maybe, and so that's the thing too with the power brokers, right? They might decide, Vance isn't going to make it, so we're gonna put our money and power behind our money and influence behind somebody else.
Okay, all right. So is
Chance
it
the gardener, right?
It's the blonde woman,
somebody,
the wife,
maybe.
The wife of Charlie Kirk.
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you can't. Who knows?
Yeah. All right. So April Smith is saying that Trump will stay because it's the only way world leaders and billionaires will associate with him and give him gold bars and airplanes.
Yeah.
I don't think. Well, you really. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's true. Once he leaves, and he could be put in jail. Okay, he stays. All right. You both have convinced me, April and you and Rick. And probably Tim. Tim, you're probably in on it too. Tim Bowers. Where are you even, Tim? You didn't say hi from somewhere. Joe Chrisman, too. Did you see Mamdani seemed to tame Trump in the meeting today? Weird. Yeah.
It's not that weird, actually. It's because, like, Trump typically is a coward when he's dealing with people directly.
Also, and also he's a Democrat,
he's
right?
A wuss. Yeah, again, that's attributing way too much
thought to
calculation
him.
And thought. It's like, no, it's like, he talked to this person, this smiley, handsome man who's the mayor of his hometown, and is in front of people in a public place with this guy, and so he's not going to shit on him because he's a coward. He shits on people, on Truth Social and in speeches somewhere else. It's like, oh no. Is he here? Oh, I'm not going to say anything mean about him here.
Yeah, because he's a deal maker, Rick. So Tim Bowers is in Washington D.C. fittingly, mere 3 blocks from the White House. That's nice. And what else we say? He's also saying that Vance's wife is no longer wearing her wedding ring. So it took me a second to remember who that, because I was going to think, Mamdani's Central Casting.
So that's a bigger thing, right? Is so having president, vice president separating from their spouse during their term in office, right?
Has that happened before?
I don't think so. I mean, there've been
blowjobs.
There've been widowers, right?
Yeah.
So what's his name and single who got married when they were in the White House?
Maybe Abraham Lincoln was a widower.
No, he wasn't. No.
When did that Mary Shelley or whatever her name is?
Mary Todd Lincoln?
Yeah.
I believe she died after. Yeah,
okay.
Lincoln. She was mentally ill.
She was crazy.
Had mental health issues, but as they said in the 1860s, no, she had the vapors. No, what she had a nervous condition.
She had nerves,
but she was alive.
Yeah, okay. Well, she had depression, right? Or did he have depression?
He had depression. He was also taking blue mass pills, which are these gigantic blue pills filled with mercury. It was just in, what was it in? We watched Frankenstein, and the character in Frankenstein was dying of mercury poisoning because he was taking blue mass.
God. Okay. We have lots to cover today. So we started with politics. Apparently I'm wrong. They're not going to insert Vance in before the end of the term. I stand corrected.
Yeah. So all the stuff about and then thinking, Trump's really unhealthy, he's going to die. And then it's like, okay, but his dad was, suffered from Alzheimer's, dementia, and lived until he was 95 or something. So it's entirely possible. Yeah. So also relying on Trump to shuffle off this mortal coil in the next couple of years is, I mean, it's possible, right? It's definitely chunkier than his dad, right? But
it's also newer times. Yeah, they could keep him alive.
But then the question is how far will the mental decline go before? Yeah, so I guess that's a possibility. Is like, but then again, I can't imagine things changing so much that Republicans would say, "Oh, he's thick in the head now. We've got to get rid of him." Right?
No, okay, all right. I was just my only thing was that they would want to ensure that people would feel confident voting for Vance. But as you said, maybe they'll just insert Erica Kirk or whatever the Kirk wife is. I don't think they'd put a woman in there though. Does she be maybe the vice president?
So that to me is more interesting. The calculation, is Vance thinking about, can I dump my wife, hook up with Erica Kirk, and get through all that in the next 2 or 3 years, and then still run for president in 2028? And so the thing is will the shitheels vote for a guy who dumped his wife and shacked up with a widow?
Maybe not.
But no, I think
of course they
so.
will.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Jesus.
Well, I don't know.
Look
So
at
that's
what
the question.
they voted for Trump.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that's the thing.
Grab him
Trump's
by the
different.
pussy.
Trump's, and that's another
okay.
reason why.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll take him out and have Vance in there, and it's like, yeah, I guess it's like you could say, oh, like they're looking for an ideal time, and so maybe like you're saying 6 months, but it's like the Trump is kind of bulletproof. Vance is not.
That's why
he's
a
normal human.
All right. So, and Tim Bowers says that Harrison and Wilson became widowers while in office. So should we segue into the
beard show?
What did we watch first? I'm really getting into the historical. I like the history stuff now. All of a sudden, and them dressing up, I don't mind that. Like I remember we used to call it dress up shows, and we didn't watch them. But it's kind of fun to see how things used to be, right?
The old days.
Right. So what was the first thing we watched?
I don't know.
The Frankenstein, right?
Oh, no, we were watching the Beard show.
Oh, okay. All right.
President Beard.
Yeah. So President James Garfield?
Garfield. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was trying to so it's the guy who sings REM. Why is there an REM cover band that I know about when they're all still alive, right? Michael Stipe's not dead, right?
And why do you choose Michael Stipe as being the one who would be dead? I would think it would be Peter Buck because he's older than all the rest of them.
But Michael Stipe is the singer.
Yeah, so that's so. Let's talk a little bit about this. So what you're saying is kind of like death watch for bands. What's the order? Death order is typically what? Lead singer, then guitarist.
Wait. All right, which ones?
No. It's usually drummer, right? I would say, well, like if you're
drummer dies.
Classic rock, just looking at history, right? It would be drummer.
Yeah.
Although now looking at the Beatles, right? It's a neck and neck race.
But there's drummer.
Who's going to be left?
There was a different drummer first, right?
In the Beatles?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there were a couple. Pete Best has died, but Ringo is not dead. Ringo's been and so both Paul and Ringo have been vegetarians too.
And we are talking about Death by Lightning, yes, Tina. And Tim Bauer says,
also known as the President Beard Show,
or Bill Berry because he had a brain aneurysm. Yeah. Tim Bauer says,
yeah.
All right, so
I don't think that counts. Right, in rock and roll death watches, right?
Oh, I thought that was a president. Bill Berry was the one who left first.
Yes, he did.
Who's Bill Berry?
But he hasn't died. The drummer from REM.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But
no, we're talking Death Watch. Well, what I'm talking about.
So
okay,
you said lead singer. So you were like Michael Sipes. You just kind of went to him as being. He's not dead yet.
No, because Mike Shannon, right? Okay, Michael Shannon. I know the name of the bearded gentleman who's playing President Garfield. Look at all those names that I know, right?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. And I know this, and because I'm staring at him, he looks a little bit like Adam Fox. He's got the same eyes, kind of, a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah. But anyway, so I'm watching him, and I'm like, who the hell is that guy? I know who Nick Offerman is, but I don't know who the Mike Shannon guy is. You're like, well, I'm trying to figure out where you would know him from, and then you're like, he's an Illinois guy.
Yeah.
Right. So he's from Illinois. Then, I went on my Facebook feed, and there's a picture of him with Jason Narducci, who it's Martin Narducci. Atkins just had Jason over at the museum, I think, doing something, and he was like, "You should come. Jason's going to be here." And I'm like, "I don't know who Jason is. I don't know Jason." But there's a picture of those guys. So Jason and Michael Shannon are in an REM cover band. I assume that Michael Shannon, and then I think they were on a TV show too just recently. I assume Michael Shannon is singing the songs.
Yes, he's singing.
That's why I said Michael Stipe's not dead. Why is he singing Michael Stipe's songs?
Well, because Michael Stipe's not singing. Well, actually, Michael Stipe did sing a REM song.
How do you cover?
Rarely will that happen.
Okay, so he's just like, he's playing in band. He's like Flea, except the opposite, right? He's playing in
Michael
Shannon.
Yeah.
Michael
I know.
Stipe.
Yeah,
Jason plays. Oh, did we meet? We met.
I spent a lot of time talking to Jason about the Bob Mould Band's appearance on David Letterman in 2016. That's what we talked about.
Right. So that's right. I remember meeting him. Okay. Fuck. I hate
this. We have an old episode where we talk about that. But yeah, I was looking back and it's I guess the Michael Shannon, you haven't seen like Take Shelter and so there, I mean he's been in.
Does he have a beard in those movies?
No.
Okay.
He rarely has a beard.
Okay.
Or never has a long 1880s beard.
Do you think that's his real beard?
No, I don't think it was. I don't think anybody had their real beards because they were so lush.
What about Nick Offerman? Do you think
no,
they had
I don't,
beard
well,
extensions?
I don't know. He could have stunt grown the mutton chops.
Oh, yeah,
Chester,
yeah.
He's Chester A. Arthur, so he's got the...
So at any time during that show, did you think that Jason is like Kevin Bacon? Did you like start thinking, oh, maybe I'll grow out my beard?
No, I can barely maintain my short scrabble. I don't know how long my beard would grow. I don't think it would grow that long.
Maybe you could go to the beard, like to a beardist.
And that age so the extra long beard, I feel like it's kind of peaked and we're moving back
into the 70s.
Yeah, and unfortunately I think unbearded, clean shaven again.
Or 1800s.
That's the interesting thing about the beard is like it was the turning point was right around the Civil War. Like Lincoln, when he was running for president, I think it's 1864, right? Initially, he's clean shaven, and then he grows the beard during that, or 1860, that election. Somebody writes him an email. Somebody writes him an email.
A text.
A letter.
Yeah.
And says, you would look good with a beard.
And then he grows a beard.
And then he grows a beard, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that's apocryphal or not. What's the other word? Anyways, but yeah, people like men with beards would be, run out of town, like a decade earlier. It was like being clean shaven was, although that's not 100% true because like frontiersmen, right, had beards, earlier, before the Civil War. So, but it was just, and so that's kind of what's happening. I feel like
now
we've gone
people
into
are
a
doing
beard era.
Yeah,
but it's starting to wane.
Yeah, because what is his name? Ezra Klein. Beard. He grew a beard.
Yeah.
He looks like a 12-year-old with a beard now. It looks like you have a dirty face. You should wash it off. And then who's the other one who just Buttigieg grew a beard too.
Yeah.
Like both those young men grew beards, and I was like, guys, like if it looks nice when you have a fatter face, like your face, it's kind of fatter.
Thanks.
I mean, it's okay for the beard,
Mm-hmm.
but like when you have a thin face, you gotta like ease into it. I think. I don't know. I don't like. I'm used to Ezra Klein with the beard now.
And we're moving into mustache era. So like Timothy Chalamet has a mustache. Our 16-year-old is growing a Chalamet mustache.
Yeah.
Chalamet stash.
I would do that too.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it should be. A Chalamet stash. I gotta write that down.
Okay, Chalamet stash.
Chalamet.
Chalastash.
M-E-T stash. No, Chalamet stash.
Chalamet stash.
Chalamet stash. It's like mustache, but May stash.
Chalamet stash.
Yeah. And so I think things will peter out after that. But unfortunately, I think I have to continue with the beard because the number of chins that are underneath this.
I mean, again, you are a gorgeous man without a beard.
Without a beard,
yeah,
I am a gorgeous man with 3 chins.
Well, the more chins, the merrier.
The more chins, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing is like if multiple chins come back in style, right? Like all of a sudden it's like, look at that guy.
So,
look at how many chins that guy.
So Joe
has.
Chrisman has
He's
said
well fed. He must be rich.
Joe Chrisman has said beardless Rick. I'm not sure. It's just a comment, I guess. And then, how do you ease into a beard any more than naturally? So it's a good question. Maybe you start with the mustache. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big beard person, and on top of it, I don't know if somebody has a beard either. Like most of the time,
you're beard blind.
I am. I'm face blind. I just have face blindness. I have it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You think it's garbage?
I just hate.
I
like face blindness. That's like That's like the second most self-diagnosed condition after ADHD.
Well, I have that too, but I have
autism. It's like, I'm autistic. I have ADHD.
The spectrum
I have
spares
face
none.
blindness, and it's like.
You don't think I have face blindness? What do you think I have? Lazy?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, you just don't. Yeah, you don't remember people.
I don't remember. So I tell my students now, like if you gave me your phone numbers, I'll bet I could remember everybody's phone number.
I am height blind. I do know that I'm height blind.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes like this happened. We can maybe segue. We didn't talk about President Beard that much, but it's just James Garfield being shot by Tom Wanskams.
Oh, Tom Wanskams. And all right. What is it called when anachronistic dialogue?
Yeah. I mean, so
like
that's the thing is people
noticeably.
Well, I don't know, but I think people used the F word and stuff back then, but yeah, it seemed a little
Yeah, well, fuck you,
yeah.
you fucker. You know, like it seemed anachronistic. And I'm not like, I mean, I noted that Shogun did the translation of the Japanese back and forth and everything like that. Like that's very respectable. But it's like notably in Death by Lightning, like they're like, fuck you, and I don't know. Yeah, there are a lot of weird. Anachronistic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I didn't like. Yeah. So it's 4 episodes, and I kind of felt like that last episode, which should have been the most exciting, which is the actual assassination and everything like that, was.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, James Garfield was assassinated, and that's what the whole series is about. But it felt rushed and, like devoid of kind of character, and it was just really weird. Anyways, but yeah, talking about height blindness is, we had a visitor come, right, Ian, and then Jay Ryan was here, and then when I saw them standing together, it was like, oh, Ian's not as tall. Jay is really tall.
I know this.
But I didn't know that.
I totally
do.
Jay Ryan is very tall.
Both of them.
He's way taller than you.
Yeah.
And Ian Mackay is
shorter
like
than
me. Yeah, he's like my size. Maybe a little. He's a little taller than me.
But it's like I don't think I ever processed that.
I totally know
until
that.
I saw them next to each other.
Does Jay Ryan have a beard?
Sometimes.
I don't think he does now. I don't.
Yeah,
I know that Ian doesn't have a beard.
Yeah, no.
Well, I wonder
doesn't.
if Ian never ever had a beard. Yeah, so we had a whole. We had visitors come. Are we going to start talking about that? Are we done with the James Garfield?
No. Let's turn around and talk about something else. We already started talking about it.
All right,
we were already talking about
so
it.
Somehow I nagged Ian to come here, like, and I shouldn't say like, I think I know all the reasons why. He was like, we could just Zoom. That would use up less energy. You wouldn't have to pay that much money. You wouldn't have to pay money at all. I'd just Zoom. Why don't we just do that? And I was like, no, you have to come here. You have to fly in a plane and you have to come here and stuff. And then like he tried to put it off too. And like I was trying to find, we were trying to find other reasons for him to go on a plane, like, because that's a terrible waste of energy. And I know these guys don't like doing that. I mean, I know you don't like it either, but there was just no way to pair it with another. Like, people want him to come all over the United States. Like, he had all these other standing invitations and he tried to work it out, but he couldn't. So he just ended up here. And then I had to, like, there are so many people in this town that like wanted to meet him and talk to him and stuff. Like, so many, like like Waiting Room Records, the record store here run by Jared Alcorn, is named Waiting Room Records after a Fugazi song. Like the Night Shop, that was a venue here named after a Fugazi song. People love him. And I mean, maybe this is kind of a humble town, right? Like ISU is kind of like, more humble than, like, we're like deficiently, or not deficiently, but like it's a problem that we're so humble, I think. You know what I mean? I've noticed that we don't broadcast ourselves. We're not like all the professors here. It's like the opposite of Wesleyan. The Wesleyan professors I've met, which is another university here, they have pretty healthy egos. But most of the professors at ISU are pretty humble, it seems like. So it's like kind of a humble town. So you may have more people who, I don't know, I just I don't know. So we were afraid that nobody would show up to him doing a Q&A. And we played the We Are Fugazi from Washington, D.C. movie too. We played that at the Normal Theater. This all happened at the Normal Theater, and then Ian came out and just answered questions for like 2 hours. And before that, I think, who did I make him? I think I brought him to the record store. I made him go stand in front of or was that the next day? I can't remember. It was all a blur. Jeez, it was crazy. Oh, and then, he flew in the same day that he was doing the Q&A too, and everything worked out. This was during the government shutdown. He still made it here. It was crazy.
Yeah. The air traffic controllers.
Yeah. And then the audience, it was full. It was packed. It was totally sold out at the Normal Theater, and it was full of like a whole bunch of the questions were like high school kids saying, "My dad made me listen to your music. I've grown up with your music. I love your music. My dad." One person said, "My dad used to play your records, and then he'd stop it at a certain song, and he'd stop it at a certain song, and then quiz me on what song it was." And it's just like, wow, good parenting. But everybody wanted to know, as Jared Alcorn put it, how to band.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody wanted to know how to band. And people were saying, like, one person was like, "My scene sucks, nobody wants to go out." And I was thinking this, I could have answered the question the way Ian answered it, but, Ian was kind of very gently, scenes, you got to leave you kind of got to leave the judgment out of it and just make the music and, do what you can, do everything you can. And just, if people come, they come, but if they don't, it's okay. You're doing, you're making the scene, and, you be open and generous to people and see what happens. But, let's see, I think I see something from Joe saying here. "I found it interesting when Fugazi played the ballroom at ISU in the 90s, they brought a washing machine. They had a crew guy roll it out backstage, and they did laundry." Yeah, I have a picture of the washing machine, because they had it on tour when we played with them.
And what they would do is they would rinse out their clothes after the show, dump it into the washing machine. No, dryer.
Yeah,
it wasn't a washing machine, dryer.
Yeah.
And then, what did he say? They'd run the dryer the next day, though, right?
Yeah, I think they'd run the dryer,
but
wrong, then like they'd load the dryer in, I think, into the van with their clothes.
Yeah.
And then they would make the next day the clothes would be clean and dry and ready to be played in again. Yeah, I have a picture of the Fugazi's dryer. It's a dryer, Joe, not a washing machine.
To 120 volt, right? So they could plug it into a regular outlet.
Yep.
It was a special and had wheels on it.
Yeah. I mean, I got out of that whole thing kind of just like a kind of a awareness that I have a lot of stuff, and I want a lot of stuff. Just more like just, wow, maybe I don't need this. I'm just aware that I want a lot of stuff all the time. Mm-hmm. And also drinking more tea. He's very into his tea. Like, I need to get tea.
And was angry that Uptown Normal was a tea desert.
It's a food desert.
No, a tea desert
too. It is
too,
a tea
though.
desert.
He couldn't find a cup of tea
after 6
p.m.
Yeah. What did you think?
What did I think?
Yeah.
I think if he had tried a little harder, he would have found some tea.
I agree. We didn't even go into the CVS.
Yeah.
There is actually food in the CVS for the students, but it's, there is actually food there. So that is kind of like a bodega, but we didn't go in there.
Yeah, but there is, so the Waterston, one of the largest dorms, right, in existence. It's one of the tallest buildings. It's the tallest building between here and St. Louis.
Or
I think it's taller than the and has a massive food massive food service cafeteria on the ground floor. The whole ground floor is a giant dining hall.
Yeah.
So most students eat there.
Well, what did you think of the Q&A, or just him being here?
Oh, it was great. Great to see him again. Great to talk to him. What did I think of the Q&A? Yeah, it was a lot. Well, it was interesting to hear from a bunch of the young people. And that narrative, it is a little funny. The narrative, my dad made me listen to your music, or what? It's not quite that, but it was like how. And that to me is very powerful. Where it's like, oh, the kind of the indie rock, and they all call it DIY, right? So the DIY movement, what I call indie rock, what you call punk rock, but yeah, to me is sort of the '80s indie rock is like the sort of ethics and sort of music of that time is resonating with the young people, or at least the young people whose parents, listen
force
to that.
Them to
yeah,
listen.
Force them to listen to it, right?
Yeah.
And it's not forcing. It's just and so that's great. But and so the deeper thing though is like, well, what and this has always kind of been my problem is like Ian and then like Steve Albini, right? They were kind of exceptional cases within the scene. But that said, Steve, I talk about this all the time. Steve would talk about going broke, a number of times. Yeah. Like but that, sustaining that, kind of the indie rock. I don't want to call it lifestyle, like kind of, but
you want to say ethic?
Yeah, and
ethos,
and being supported by the scene and being able to kind of sustain yourself through the scene, right? That's I think it's exceptional and rare, right? And so, but then also just the way the world is now, and so back 40 years ago, right? Music was still a much more sort of powerful cultural force and community, right? Whereas now the cultural force is the predominant cultural force, I would say, is video games, right? And I'm not saying that in a critical way. I'm just saying that that's like, if you want to find something like when I talk to the kids these days, students, the sort of common cultural connection they have is through games, right? That's
you don't think powerful. Through memes?
No, I don't think social.
Okay.
I mean, I think social media is powerful, but I don't think it's a conduit. That's like saying, like, oh, indie rock, it wasn't music, wasn't the cultural force. What about zines, right?
Okay.
It's like zines were part of it, but
yeah.
they're kind of like a communication pathway within the community. I don't know. The art form, or whatever you want to call it, or I don't know. It's just that being musician, having going on tour, having 50 people show up in a small town or a college town to watch you play guitars. That network and cultural community is not as big, I guess.
Well, it'd be different. Like, it's a little different too right now, because it's like, there are different ways of booking things. It's not like it's,
and that's just mechanics. I'm talking about and so that idea of going to shows every day, right? Every night.
Yeah.
Going out on a Tuesday night to see a band from Cleveland or
Bozeman
or San Pedro, right? That has been traveling in a van across the country, right?
Yeah.
That it still exists, but it's not. I don't know. And that's the other thing, is like thinking about it back then. It's like we did see like the Flaming Lips and Nirvana, play in front of 10 or 20 people. I mean, it's like up until a certain point, that scene was tiny, and even like Fugazi, when they came to play Champaign, it was like 250.
That fit into the
300 people.
the YMCA.
Fit into the YMCA.
Yeah.
Now Chicago, it was 4,000 people or whatever. But
So I got to sit with so the next morning got to sit with Martin Atkins and Ian MacKaye, and they were talking, oh my God, the stories. Oh, I got to decline my family's doing a FaceTime. I got to sit with and listen to them, like, talking about Cynthia Plastercaster. Cynthia is Cynthia coming to the museum and this and that, and like telling the story about like Minor Threat opening for Public Image Limited. I believe it was in New York or something, and like Ian getting to meet Johnny Lydon, and Johnny just going yawn, like being an asshole to him, and then he was like, well, we're gonna blow them off the stage, and then Minor Threat played, and then he was like, can't wait to see their expressions. And then like I guess Martin Atkins, was in the band at that time, and he went backstage and like he just saw the door open and he saw like the PIL guys just get out of a car and come. It's like they missed the whole set,
Right.
And he was like, "Fuck," he was like, "God damn it," And I was sitting there while he was, while they were talking about this. It was so cool. It was so cool. But I'm trying to think of what happened after that too. Like,
one thing, and I've forgotten this, but I've had conversations with Ian before about this. It must have been decades ago, but like how the weirdness of how much he loves Jimi Hendrix, The Who. He did not talk about the Beatles. Yeah, that was. I don't remember ever talking to him about the Beatles. And then he didn't talk this time about the Doors. But it's just like the it's interesting. Yeah, how much he talks about those bands.
Oh yeah, he was. I barely could get him out of the North Street Records because there's so much Beatles stuff in there. He's like all.
Well, it was also it had a lot of like books and things like out of print fanzines and things like that. He was interested in.
Well, he came home and he was like, "What's he talking about?" He's like, "I never figured Rick to be what was it, like the Kinks or something?"
The Who.
The Who. I never a Who head or something. He was like, I got to talk to him more about that. I never figured it. What did he figure you more as? I can't remember. What maybe it was the Kinks or something.
Well, yeah, I did talk to him about the Kinks, and he was like, no, I haven't.
Oh, that's right.
Never really got. I thought they were kind of they were interesting, but then they were followers, and I was like, ooh. I did it, I was like, I think there was a lot of there's a pretty heavy influence on Paul McCartney, especially when Paul McCartney went to the kind of music hall. What did John Lennon call it? Granny music. Yeah, like Paul McCartney. I feel like that was a Kinks influence. I felt like the Kinks were kind of influencers.
You didn't fight with him?
No, I didn't fight
argue with him.
He said he was gonna listen again, and then he thought, oh, maybe Guy. I think maybe Guy likes the Kinks, or was like more into the Kinks. But yeah, it's always interesting. And then trying to translate it back to watching the live film and then translate, those influences, and it's like, oh yeah, the Who stuff. I mean, you can see it when they're kind of jamming and improvising on stage, right? That's and he was saying like live at Leeds Who, that's kind of like his peak Who, and it's like, yeah, okay, totally makes sense. And then the Hendrix thing, kind of, the kind of noisy, so like tight. It's just that, not soloing like Jimi Hendrix. There's not a lot of blues in Fugazi or Ian's guitar playing, but there's the kind of more, open sounding stuff.
There are some like just magical moments in that video. Like this really the movie was great. The movie was like based around the filmmakers, right? And just the
people who that whole it was kind of neat. I mean, the drunk guy in the audience was really pissed off about having to watch people talk about videotaping concerts, But to me, it was great because it was about how sort of unusual it was at the time, but that was also, and then who was it? Seth, Grazia, I'll call him a Grazia. He is, was talking about how the first time he had heard of Fugazi was his friend had a like a second or third generation videotape of a concert, and he saw it, and it was like the most amazing thing he saw, and just that the sort of impact of video, just in the same way like taping. So Fugazi having tapes of almost all of their, a lot of their live shows, but the video side of it, and kids just who had a camera and finding a way to document, and not even documenting it like for posterity. It was just like, oh, I'm going to shoot this, and the the era when you were able to start carrying around video cameras, portable video cameras, and everything like that. So yeah, that was cool. The sound wasn't
the sound was
greatest,
bad.
But yeah.
Joe says he's talking about when they were when they were here in Bloomington in the 90s. Ian walked up to us after sound check and asked what was a good place to eat. My buddy Tony didn't know who he was and directed him to the McDonald's in the student center. He replied that he was a vegan. Tony told him, "Oh well," and walked away. The guys from the Blue Meanies witnessed it, and Bill, their singer, nearly spit out his water. He says you had to be there. These are all good. Yeah.
And that show is available. You can listen to the normal show from 90, 92, 91.
That's amazing.
It's up on the live series.
And then the other thing that was kind of amazing is the famous, ice cream eating motherfucker, dialogue was, you got to actually see the video from that, like it actually happening on video in front of your eyes. I didn't get to hear it though, because there was a guy like just bellowing like ho 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 ho, like right next to me. So that was like I wonder, I'd like to see the movie again. So all in all, it was great. I think I it's so weird. Like, it's weird to like have somebody that you it's like my hero, be here, and then to have that all your friends, all your other heroes want to meet that hero and stuff too. And like, how do I get them all to meet without like taxing everybody, just making them all tired and stuff, or at least taxing Ian, or it was good. I thought, I was pretty happy afterwards. It was really nice to hang out with Jay Ryan too. Jay Ryan made this gorgeous poster for it, so there may still be a few left on thebirdmachine.com. And Adam Fox, was the guy who runs the Normal Theater and is the civic arts manager for the town of Normal. It's kind of hard to believe that we live in such, there are lots of things about Uptown Normal, I feel like, that are hard to believe. Like, even when I was talking to Ian, he's like, so you're going to have this in the movie theater? And I'm like, yep, you're going to have it. Well, how are we going to ask permission? I'm like, oh, no, they're fine with it. Well, how much, who's going to pay for it? Oh, no, we can pay for it. It's not a problem. Well, what? Is there another movie planned? Yeah, but no, there were people practicing in there, but they gave up the night. What? Who's in charge? To put me in, it was like at some point he was like, who's in charge of all this? I was like, I think I am, but if you want to talk to my boss, okay, and like our new boss was, perfectly fine with this too, because his students had driven out to interview Ian before, and I feel like our new boss was just fantastic the whole time. He was just, I wish he had more time to talk to Ian. And then one thing that so I had Ian in front of our students too, and like one of the students was on his phone, and Ian like admonished him later. He's like, don't be on your phone when you're sitting 3 feet in front of me. Like that was unbelievable that this kid was doing that. But it was kind of neat that Ian said something to him.
Yeah, it's good for Ian to see how things are in the 21st century. Yeah,
that's good, because Ian has a flip phone, right? So
does he? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have a smartphone. He has a flip phone. And then he was sad. What he said is he didn't get to talk to the faculty enough. He was really enjoying talking to the faculty at the restaurant we went to, which was interesting, And then it just didn't seem like he didn't have enough time. So Yeah. Okay, so what else we got? What else did I give you on the list? It was just, I'm so thankful that he came here and talked to people, and people said that he changed their lives, and I don't know if it's weird for him to have been a person that changed people's lives, but he just did. So him and Steve, and any of those people who actually play music, but actually, you get to hear them, you get to actually hear their messages, and they're pretty steadfast in their messages. It's nice. It's really
that was the other thing, is like he's kind of now like a Buddhist, what would it be? Like, what do I was just talking about the meditation, like, or like, yeah, he's like a Buddhist philosopher now. Everything he talks about, he was even like, water, it flows around things when it comes to a barrier. And it's like, I don't know if he's consciously channeling Buddhism, but like almost everything he says, it seems like kind of cycles back to, he's kind of like a Buddhist, like a guru now.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like, and you like, he's even wearing a maroon shirt. He always wears a maroon shirt.
I'm not making fun of him. I'm just, pointing out. Like I'm trying to figure out, like, is he reading? Because then it's like, oh, what are you reading now? And he's like reading, what is it? Is it Elliot Mintz? I'm trying to remember who it is. The guy who was like the PR guy for John Lennon, Yoko Ono. And he's reading that book, that guy's sort of memoir, and it's like, he's not reading an Alan Watts book or something.
He doesn't have to anymore.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I'm a little curious. He must. Yeah, I feel like he must be into that stuff.
Well, maybe I'll ask him the next time I talk to her. We can interview him. We can say, why are you saying all this Buddhist shit? Like, why are you saying that? Like, where's your Buddhist influences come from? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny because you're like, he's even wearing a maroon shirt. You were wearing a maroon shirt at the same time that you were saying that. So that was funny.
My shirt was not maroon, though.
Right, yeah. Your shirt was cranberry.
That's right.
Uh-huh. Okay. So what else do we have? You want to talk about pluribus?
We can talk a little bit about it.
Yeah. Because there is a lot of things you can think about there. Like, so when I first heard about it, I was like, oh, that's going to be scary. I'm scared to watch it. It's going to have a little child dying and stuff. But, or it's going to be anti-happiness, which seems like that's what it is.
I don't know.
Like I'm my whole life, I'm trying to be happy and connected with people. And like, this seems to be anti that.
And so, it's been interesting. The first episode is definitely like, horror or science fiction, like Invasion of the Body Snatchers kind of, and then it moves pretty quickly to more complicated human questions about humanity and what it means to be human, and what's a good life, and what's a life of what entrapments, I guess.
Yeah.
And then, but actually, this latest episode, I feel like I'm getting a little worried that it's cruising. It's starting to cruise. Like I felt like there was a pretty good 1-2 punch, and the third episode was interesting. It was still good, but this first episode was interesting, but it seems a little more contained. Also, I started thinking, okay. So that whole thing about it being $15 million an episode, it's like, oh, no, it's more like they spent big on the
first couple.
Yeah, first episode, second episode. Yeah, and now they're in, it's like the bottle episode kind of thing. And there's, it's in Breaking Bad, there's the famous bottle episode where they're underground in the lab for the whole episode. In fact, I think Rian Johnson, right? Is it Rian Johnson directed that episode? Anyways, but it's also, like kind of bottle episodes. The whole point of them is because, you've blown your money elsewhere, and you got to just do one that's going to be, in one set. And that's not what's happening, I guess. But it does feel like there's a reduction going on. But I don't know. I think it's also it's again the kind of long form episodic television where it's novel, like more novelistic, and so you're going to get these kind of different types of episodes. Yeah.
Okay. So the thing that seemed maybe reductive, and now real spoiler alert. Okay. For her, like when she gives the other girl, the hot chick, the sodium pentothal, I'm guessing that's what it is.
Something like that.
Yeah. The truth serum. It's like I was like, okay, you're gonna kill her. Like when you do something wrong, then they get hurt. Like we already know that that's gonna happen. So you're just gonna watch something sad,
Yeah.
Like.
And so that's the thing is and Vince Gilligan has said like he wanted to write a show that wasn't about an anti-hero, right? And so, like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, I mean, they're appealing characters, but they are really anti-heroes. Right? They're not really
that's
good
interesting.
people.
Yeah.
And so, but now, yeah, this show, and originally it was like, a person who it was originally going to be a guy who's everyone loves, right, is dealing with complete love, right, adoration, or sort of universal adoration. I think was the original kind of impetus or spark of an idea, but then it kind of spun out into this. And the main character now, she's it's definitely like, oh, okay, and then that's the question: is she really the hero? Is she a hero?
Yeah,
or are we basically being dragged through a process of someone, kind of a long, complicated narrative that's going to kind of reveal this person as the bad guy? But I think that's already what you're kind of asking, right? It's like, oh, and that's what it's about. It's about harm and like what's sacrifice, and what's is it worth sacrificing for humanity, or what you consider to be the truth, or what it is to be human? I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, and I got, like, by the end of it yesterday, I was just like, well, what usually happens in these Invasion of the Body Snatchers, like Last of Us sort of, because I don't watch that stuff. So what's going to happen? Is she going to get assimilated, or is she right now it's like either she's going to get assimilated or she's going to unassimilate everybody. And, like I'm sure it's going to be a terrible, sad ending, because it has to be, because it's adult TV. So it's not going to be a happy ending.
If you use the Invasion of the Body Snatchers model, right? So it always ends with, the Invasion of the Body Snatchers, at least the 1950s one and the 70s one, they kind of do end with, spoiler alert, where it's kind of like, it seems like the invasion, they're going to win, right? And they're
the invasion wins.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
They end. They both. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, they definitely both end. Like, oh nope, everybody's gone. Just one person left. And so that's what's interesting about this, is that it is kind of like, oh, there are only a few people left. It's farther along the Invasion of the Body Snatchers kind of timeline, where it's like, ooh, what's happening when there are only 11 or 12 people.
What's really interesting,
been snatched.
Yeah, it's really, really, and 12 people, right? 12 disciples. It's really, really interesting. Oh, maybe Jesus will come.
Well, no, there are 13. So there are her and then 12 other.
No, I thought there were 11 others.
There were 11 others,
and
then it was like, we just found another guy, a 12th person.
Oh.
And so maybe they were saying, when they said a 12th person, they were including her. But I think she says how many did you say? There are 11 others? And then
and they said
we just found a 12th person. and so I feel like it is already 13. But that makes more sense, right? So then you've got your 12 and Jesus. So that would make her Jesus. But I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe.
And I'm also like, I'm trying to figure out, like, what am I? Is it an allegory for like drugs or Christianity, or then now all of a sudden she's gay and she went through transition therapy.
Not all of a sudden. You've apparently missed.
No, so I know she was gay, but like all of a sudden it's an issue.
I don't think all of a sudden it's an issue. It was an issue throughout this, from the beginning of the story. I mean, it's been in there, but. Well, what was I going to say about that?
Transition therapy.
Another thing about not transition therapy. What is it called?
Breaking Bad?
No. But it's not called transition therapy.
Yeah.
Conversion therapy.
Conversion,
right?
Sorry, yeah, conversion therapy.
Or is that what it's called? Anyways, yeah. Everybody says, oh, it's about AI, but Vince Gilligan says, no, it's not about AI.
Yeah, there's echoes of AI in it. I always, like, I giggle kind of inside when it looks like, when it's AI adjacent. Like, this is how an AI talks. Like, I giggle a little bit, and I know it's not. I know that's not what he's talking about.
And so the thing is he's. I mean, I heard an interview where he was saying, who was it was saying this? But it was just like, you don't don't explain or you don't have to. It's not your job to figure out what the metaphor is.
Yeah.
It's the audience. The audience gets to figure that out. You don't need to.
Yeah.
You don't need to know. It's like you make this thing, and it's kind of about the thing, but you don't have to intentionally as the author. It's better and even if you do have a direct like, oh, this is a metaphor for this, and I'm writing this. It's like the audience is gonna probably fill in and decide it's something else anyways.
And that's how you write your songs too. It's the same thing. Like
you find a middle
together.
ground.
Yeah. All right. What else did I have you write down?
I don't think you had me write down anything else.
Okay. All right. Well, do you have anything? You're gonna
already
have to,
an hour and 5.
Oh, okay. All right. What are you looking forward to?
Big turkey.
Big turkey.
Big turkey.
Are you looking forward to people calling you vegan and me not? Wait. Are we going to go see the Yoko Ono thing?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you'll be first to know if we are going to go see that or not. Everybody, thank you for listening. I thought there was something else we were going to talk about.
But I would say
you've had enough.
I don't want to spend
Let's
another
go eat.
25 minutes.
Okay.
Prattling on about beards.
Okay. All right. And Beard Prattle is the name of this.
Beard Prattle. I think they didn't they open up for Fugazi in 1991?
Sure.
Beard Prattle.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for talking to me. Thanks for listening.